Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving deep into a year that forever altered the trajectory of human history. The year is 1945. It is the ultimate turning point, marking not only the bloody and dramatic conclusion of the deadliest global conflict in history, World War II, but also the dawn of a completely new era. In a matter of months, the world witnessed the terrifying birth of the atomic age, the foundational meetings of the United Nations, the dawn of electronic computing, and the fracturing of the globe into the early stages of the Cold War. From the collapse of mighty empires to the sheer destructive force of nature, and the legendary music that kept the world moving forward, this is the complete fact-packed documentary of 1945. Make sure to hit subscribe and let's jump right in. The political landscape of 1945 was defined by the relentless push to end World War II and the scrambling to shape the post-war world. On January 27th, the Soviet Red Army liberated the Auschwitz and Birkenau concentration camps. In February, the Big Three, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, and Joseph Stalin, met at the Yalta Conference to plan the final defeat of Germany and map out post-war Europe. By February 19th, United States Marines had landed on Iwo Jima, leading to the legendary raising of the American flag on Mount Suribachi on February 23rd. Meanwhile, the devastating bombing of Dresden by Allied forces between February 13th and 15th killed an estimated 25,000 to 35,000 people, and the firebombing of Tokyo on March 9th and 10th killed 100,000 citizens. April brought massive shockwaves. On April 12th, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt died of a stroke, elevating Harry S. Truman to the presidency. On April 25th, American and Soviet troops linked up at the River Elbe, effectively cutting Germany in two, while the founding negotiations for the United Nations officially began in San Francisco. On April 28th, Italian dictator Benito Mussolini was executed by Italian partisans, and just 2 days later, on April 30th, Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun committed suicide in the Berlin Führerbunker as Soviet troops closed in. Germany officially signed an unconditional surrender on May 7th, leading to victory in Europe, or VE Day, on May 8th. In the Pacific, the war entered a terrifying new phase. On July 16th, the Manhattan Project successfully detonated the first atomic bomb, codenamed the Trinity Test, in Alamogordo, New Mexico. On August 6th, the U.S. dropped the uranium atomic bomb Little Boy on Hiroshima, resulting in 90,000 to 146,000 deaths, followed by the plutonium bomb Fat Man on Nagasaki on August 9th, causing 39,000 to 80,000 deaths. Japan announced its surrender on August 15th and officially signed the Instrument of Surrender on September 2nd aboard the USS Missouri, marking VJ Day and the definitive end of World War II. The fallout immediately reshaped the globe. On August 17th, Sukarno and Mohammed Hatta declared the independence of the Republic of Indonesia. On September 2nd, Ho Chi Minh officially established the Democratic Republic of Vietnam. By September 9th, Japanese troops in Keijo formally relinquished control of southern Korea to the U.S., while Soviet forces controlled northern Korea, beginning the division of Korea at the 38th parallel. The United Nations was officially founded on October 24th. Finally, on November 20th, the Nuremberg trials began against 22 Nazi leaders. While human armies fought, the planet unleashed catastrophic natural disasters. On January 12th, the Mikawa earthquake, a 6.6 magnitude tremor, struck the Aichi prefecture in Japan, leaving 2,306 people dead, 896 injured, and destroying over 7,200 homes. On February 12th, a devastating tornado outbreak swept through Mississippi and Alabama, killing 45 people and injuring over 400. This was followed by an even deadlier tornado outbreak across the United States on April 12th, which killed 128 people and injured over 1,000 others. In the oceans, powerful seismic events triggered widespread alarm. A 7.5 magnitude earthquake hit off the south coast of New Zealand on September 1st. On September 18th, Typhoon Makurazaki slammed into Japan, killing 3,746 people. But the deadliest natural disaster of the year occurred on November 27th. An enormous 8.1 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Pakistan in the Arabian Sea. The Balochistan earthquake triggered a massive tsunami that caused over 4,000 deaths and resulted in $25 million in property damage. December closed out with a massive 7.8 magnitude earthquake in the West New Britain province of Australia on December 28th. The 1945 North Atlantic hurricane season was also fiercely destructive. Between September 11th and 19th, a massive hurricane lashed the Florida coast, with recorded winds reaching 138 miles per hour at Carisfort Reef Light. The storm's center passed almost directly over the Homestead Army Air Base. When the hurricane hit the Richmond Naval Air Base, extreme winds sparked a horrific fire that completely destroyed 3 massive lighter-than-air blimp hangars. This inferno quickly consumed 25 blimps, 366 airplanes, and 150 automobiles in a single devastating sweep. While the major political and military demises of 1945 dominated the headlines, the world also lost many other influential figures across different fields. Early in the year, the young Jewish diarist Anne Frank tragically died of typhus in the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. The world of journalism mourned beloved American war correspondent Ernie Pyle, who was killed in action by Japanese machine gun fire on the island of Ieshima on April 18th. On December 21st, the legendary American general George S. Patton passed away from injuries sustained in a car accident in Germany. The global arts and literature community also suffered massive losses, including the deaths of American novelist Theodore Dreiser, Hungarian composer Béla Bartók, Austrian composer Anton Webern, and the French poet Paul Valéry. American mystic Edgar Cayce on January 3rd, German theologian Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who was executed on April 9th, and Indian nationalist leader Subhas Chandra Bose, who died from third-degree burns after a plane crash on August 18th. At the exact same time, a massive wave of new legends was being born, shaping the future of global culture. The music world saw the births of reggae icon Bob Marley, guitarist Eric Clapton and Ritchie Blackmore, The Who's Pete Townshend, Sir Van Morrison, Neil Young, Bette Midler, and Motorhead's frontman Lemmy. Beyond entertainment, 1945 also saw the births of major global politicians who would go on to shape the 21st century. Rodrigo Duterte, the 16th president of the Philippines; Aung San Suu Kyi, Myanmar politician and Nobel Peace Prize recipient; Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, the 35th president of Brazil; and Daniel Ortega, president of Nicaragua. WWE Chairman Vince McMahon was born on August 24th, while in the scientific community, Nobel Prize-winning quantum physicist Anton Zeilinger was born on May 20th. Through all the tragedy and triumph, the jukeboxes and radios of 1945 kept playing, providing the ultimate soundtrack to a world in transition. According to combined charts derived from Billboard's retail, disc jockey, and jukebox data, the absolute biggest song of 1945 was "Don't Fence Me In" by Bing Crosby and the Andrews Sisters, which held the peak position for a staggering 13 weeks. Coming in at number 2 for the year was the defining anthem for returning troops, "Sentimental Journey" by Les Brown and his orchestra, with vocals by Doris Day, peaking at number 1 for 6 weeks. The third biggest song was Perry Como's romantic hit, "Till the End of Time," which spent 10 weeks at the top spot. Number 4 was "There I've Said It Again" by Vaughn Monroe and his orchestra. The Andrews Sisters claimed the number 5 spot with their massive hit "Rum and Coca-Cola," which spent 8 weeks at number 1. Number 6 was "On the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe" by Johnny Mercer and the Pied Pipers. Les Brown and Doris Day struck again at number 7 with "My Dreams Are Getting Better All the Time." Rounding out the top tier of 1945 were "Chicory Chick" by Swing and Sway, with Sammy Kaye at number 8, and "Candy" by Johnny Mercer, Joe Stafford, and the Pied Pipers at number 9. Harry James also dominated the Billboard charts that year with multiple number 1 hits, including "I'm Beginning to See the Light" and "It's Been a Long, Long Time." 1945 wasn't just a year. It was a massive, violent, and miraculous reset button for planet Earth. It was the absolute beginning of the modern era as we know it, where old empires fell, atomic science changed warfare forever, and the generation that would shape the next 80 years of culture was born. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive into 1945. If you love history packed with non-stop facts, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below telling me which event from 1945 shocked you the most. See you in the next documentary,